Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for graduates of the Faculties of Asian and International Studies, Business and Hotel Management, Education and the Arts, Engineering and Applied Sciences, Environmental Sciences, Nursing and Health Sciences, and Science and Technology. In a few minutes, the graduation ceremony will commence. The procession of staff will enter first. After a brief pause, the university fanfares will announce the entrance of the dais party. I will signal to you by this action that you are to rise and remain standing until both the staff procession and the dais party are seated. Please do not stand until I ask you to.
fellow members of the Council of Griffith University, First Chancellor Sir Theodore Bray, past members of Council, Vice Chancellor Professor Roy Webb, Mr. Thomas Palumi, Papua New Guinea Consul, members of the staff and students of the university, ladies and gentlemen. Griffith University, like other universities, assembles formally for the purpose of conferring academic awards on its graduates. These are important occasions for our graduates and for the entire university community. As Chancellor of Griffith University, I extend a very warm welcome to everyone present on this occasion. I'm particularly pleased to welcome Mr. Neville Bonner tonight. Mr. Bonner is to receive the university's highest award for service, Doctor of the University, and he will deliver the occasional address. All who receive the award of Doctor of the University have a high level of achievement, which we acknowledge, but I'm sure you'll understand my saying that we take particular pleasure in the fact that one of our colleagues on the University Council is to be so honoured. Those who graduate tonight come from a range of faculties which are distributed over our Brisbane and Gold Coast campuses. We extend our warmest congratulations to them all. Griffith University has grown greatly over the last few years. We are now a 6-campus institution with an overall student population of just over 16,000. Let me tell you a little of recent developments within the university relevant to tonight's proceedings. Since we're on this occasion concerned with a number of faculties, a little detail is involved, but I think you'll be interested to hear it. The Faculty of Business and Hotel Management has experienced a dramatic increase in enrolment. This year, over 1,500 students enrolled in the faculty, including 170 from overseas. 1993 saw the first intake of students for the double degree program, Bachelor of Hotel Management, Bachelor of Arts Japanese, offered in combination with the Faculty of Education and the Arts. In 1994, a double degree Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Arts Japanese will also be commenced. The quality of the education processes in the faculty receives due recognition from industry. The placement of graduates into the workplace shows this. Through the School of Tourism and Hotel Management, the faculty recently received 2 important awards: the Gold Coast Regional Tourism Training Award for Course Development and the Industry Education Award at the Queensland Tourism and Travel Awards ceremony. It is also a finalist in the National Tourism and Training Awards to be announced next month. The faculty's graduates in the accounting profession can undertake their professional year accreditation through the accounting professional bodies. For 2 consecutive years, Bachelor of Business graduates with a specialisation in accounting have topped the tax modules in the professional year examinations. The first students in the faculty's honours programs were enrolled at the start of 1993. Also, 6 of its candidates are undertaking Master of Philosophy and Doctor of Philosophy research programs. In 1994, tourism management is to be introduced as a major study area within both the Bachelor of Business and Bachelor of Hotel Management schools. This will increase the faculty's major study areas to 7. That is, allowing for the introduction of that course. The 7 are accounting, computing, human resource management, business management, marketing, club and resort management, and tourism management. A Centre for Tourism and Hospitality Management will be established early in 1994 to focus further industry and community attention on this area. A Master of Hospitality Management, which is to be offered at the commencement of 1994, will expand the portfolio of education opportunities supported by the faculty. We are innovative in meeting community needs. In 1993, an advanced certificate in golf management has been offered. This program, which has been endorsed by the Professional Golf Association of Australia, is attracting national and international interest. The Faculty of Business and Hotel Management has signed a twinning agreement with a Malaysian college for the offering of the first 18 months of the Bachelor of Hotel Management in Malaysia, with the students then coming to Australia to complete their final 18 months. Academic and research profiles are expanding rapidly. 5 new professorial positions have been advertised in the areas of applied psychology, computing, accounting, marketing and hotel management. For the first time in 1994, the Faculties of Science and Technology and Commerce and Administration will be jointly offering the 4-year double degree in Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Commerce. This course is designed to prepare students for careers involving science and technology and business interests. Also being offered is a graduate diploma master's in biotechnology, which is a course designed to provide students with advanced training in concepts and techniques relevant to the rapidly growing biotechnology industry. The development of the course has involved close collaboration with local biotechnology companies, and 50% of it will be in a project undertaken in an industrial environment. The signing this year of an agreement between the university, on behalf of the Queensland Pharmaceutical Research Institute, QPRI, an allied centre of the faculty, and the company Astra Pharmaceutical is particularly significant. $10 million of funding will be provided over the next 5 years to support a research program screening Australian flora and fauna for potential new pharmaceutical drugs. The Department of Business, Industry and Regional Development has provided a special purposes $3 million building on the Mount Gravatt Research Park to house QPRI. The building, known as the Griffith Research Centre, was officially opened by the Honourable Jim Elder in July. A former PhD student from the faculty, Dr. Mark von Itzstein, has played a major role in an important drug discovery. He was featured on the front page of Time magazine this year. The discovery has potential as an anti-flu compound. Dr. von Itzstein completed his PhD in chemistry at Griffith University with Associate Professor Ian Jenkins. The School of Computing and Information Technology is leading a consortium of Queensland universities in a proposal made to the Australian Research Council to fund the purchase of a supercomputer. The proposal received a grant of $1.3 million for the years 1993 and 1994. The supercomputer will be located at the Nathan campus of Griffith University and will be accessed through a communications network by the other members of the consortium. Several senior academic staff appointments have been made to the School of Computer and Information Technology this year, with Griffith University's supercomputing initiative in mind. In August, the university, through the School of Microelectronic Engineering, entered into an agreement with Lam Research USA to establish a technique to monitor in situ the etch rate of silicon integrated circuits. Lam has donated to the university one of their etching machines valued at more than $400,000. The Australian Research Council is contributing $270,000 and the university some $50,000. In 1993, the School of Aviation offered for the first time a Bachelor of Technology with Aviation. This course is being conducted mainly by the School of Microelectronic Engineering. In 1994, the School of Microelectronic Engineering and the School of Computing and Information Technology will jointly conduct a 5-year combined Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Information Technology degree. In 1995, a bachelor's degree in electronic engineering will be offered by the School of Microelectronic Engineering for students studying engineering at the Gold Coast. The Faculty of Nursing and Health Sciences at the Gold Coast campus continues to grow. This year it accepted 82 students into its Bachelor of Health Science degree, 13 into the Bachelor of Nursing Honours and Master of Nursing, and 28 into the Graduate Diploma in Critical Nursing Care. The faculty is currently in the midst of selection processes for appointments at the professorial and associate professor level in health science, and will advertise similar levels in nursing in the new year. In the Faculty of Asian and International Studies, a grant has been received from the Chiang Ching-kuo Foundation in Taiwan to provide a year's support for a Professor of Taiwan Studies. It's hoped also that a Chair of Korean Studies, Australia's first, will be established on the finalisation of arrangements for a grant from the Korea Foundation of Seoul. Within the faculty, the growth of interest in Chinese cinema is reflected in a course established as an elective in the China area to complement other courses on modern Chinese themes. Arrangements have been made to involve Bachelor of International Business students in practical projects in overseas countries. A course established in cross-cultural management offers the opportunity for significant broadening of the knowledge and skills of those participating. The Faculty of Environmental Sciences has this year offered for the first time a graduate diploma in land management and ecological processes. In the Bachelor of Engineering Environmental Engineering course, the interest and participation of women was again evident, and as some concrete indication of this, we may note that the prizes in the school for the top 3 first-year students all went to women. The first graduate from the Bachelor of Science in Applied Mathematics and Statistics honours course graduates today. He is a student who has been supported through the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander program. The Faculty of Environmental Sciences was heavily involved in research and consulting in the year just past, and it obtained funds totalling $4.6 million for those endeavours. Significant grants came from Pacific Waste Management and the Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research. Ladies and gentlemen, Griffith University is proud of its achievements and those of its many graduates. The graduates whose success we acknowledge tonight have already benefited from the university's recognition of the importance of innovation and of the need to be progressive. Consciously, I am sure, and to a further extent, subconsciously I believe as well, our graduates will find their careers shaped by Griffith's values in the years ahead. As we continue with tonight's proceedings, I express once again warm congratulations to each of our graduates and extend our best wishes. I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Asian and International Studies to present the graduates from that faculty who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts. Stephanie Barker. Joseph Buffalino. Christine Coles. Paul Coscarella. Alex Domogatsky. Lang Dust. Jeff Howe. Louise Jones. Huiping Leung. Sandy Lindsay. Lisa Lloyd. Jean Neto. Jason Nickel. Paul O'Mara. Heather Perina. George Ray. Darryl Saxon. Vanessa Stewart. David Swan. Susan Swan. Angela Sweeney. Rima Tamu. Lachlan Walker. Deborah Walton. Jenny Jung. Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of International Business. Kelly Adair. Julie Anderson. Ailsa Bell. Karen Bolger Hay. Dixon Chen. Vanessa Dunn. Amanda Dupin. Joanne Gregan. Joanne Hinrichsen. Susan Jones. Fiona McLean Garrick. Sharon May. Victoria McConnell. Sharon Porter. Ross Savage. Lawrence Shaw. Christopher Taylor. Kylie Whitehouse. Tyler Wood. Johnny Yeh. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted the Graduate Diploma of Chinese Language, Jason Nicol. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted the Graduate Diploma of Japanese Language, Melinda Bissell. Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Master of Arts in Asian and International Studies, Jennifer Dodds. Well done. Yuka Sakurai. John Wilcox. Well done. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates of coursework programs of the Faculty of Asian and International Studies.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Business and Hotel Management to present the graduates from that faculty who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Business. Lisa Bailey. Mandy Corwell. Tony Connor. Anthony Edwards. Scott Gosling. Ian Gray. Alexander Gregg. Natasha Lilly. Lynn Patterson. Craig Price. Macon Robinson. Anna Russell. Melanie Swedgman. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted the Bachelor of Hotel Management, Melissa Evans. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates of coursework programs of the Faculty of Business and Hotel Management.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Education and Arts to present the graduates from that faculty who to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Arts in Japanese. Libby Cumming. Conrad Dean. Glenn Hogan. Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Education. Patricia Blackman. Sylvia Lasser. Sharon Marshall. Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Teaching. Lee Anderson. Leslie Anderson. Samantha Fazaldine. Ailsa Gebhardt. Edward Lowe. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates of coursework programs of the Faculty of Education and the Arts.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science to present the graduates from that faculty who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Science.
Glenn Coomer.
Dawn Hadfield. Julianne Holcomb. Michelle McDiarmid. Kathy Nyborg. Justin Peatling. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates of coursework programs of the Faculty of Engineering and Applied Science.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Environmental Studies, Environmental Sciences, to present the graduates from that faculty who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I present to you the graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Science in Australian Environmental Studies. Ian Alexander. Timothy Beasley. Anne Bell. Melinda Bizzle. Trudy Blackburn. Bronwyn Burke. Daniel Kappa. Justin Carpenter. Michael Carroll. Sarah Cook. Brian Elmer. Sarah Finorti. David Gopyarenko. Darren Hammond. Kerry Hearn. Gerard Hogan. Jeff Hunslow. Andrew Hunter. Natalie Johnson. Matthew Kinane. Andrew Lockhart. Deborah Menendez. Shane Mann. Wendy McGorry. John Moratis. Catherine Paulson. Suzanne Raby. Sharon Risby. Fiona Robertson. Rachel Wetherell. Stephen Wharton. Suwa River. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted the Bachelor of Science with First Class Honours in Applied Mathematics and Statistics, Christopher Matthews. Chancellor, I present to you two graduates who have been granted Bachelor of Science with First Class Honours in Australian Environmental Studies, Brendan Holly. Suwa River. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted a Bachelor of Science with Second Class Honours, Division A, in Australian Environmental Studies, Risto Calione. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted a Bachelor of Science with Second Class Honours, Division B, in Australian Environmental Studies, Julia Imbroglia. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted the Graduate Diploma of Waste Management, Stanislaw Potoki. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted a Master of Engineering Science in Waste Management, Manisha Maraswari. Chancellor, I present to you two graduates who have been granted a Master of Environmental Education, Robin Sellers. Michael Yates. Chancellor, I present to you two graduates who have been granted a Master of Science in Environmental Management, John Marsh. Sandy Vigor. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates of coursework programs of the Faculty of Environmental Sciences.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Nursing and Health Sciences to present the graduates from that faculty who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Nursing. Nina Earwicker. Lynette Glubb. Erin Lloyd. Sue Phillips. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the graduates of coursework programs of the Faculty of Nursing and Health Science.
I now call on the Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology to present the graduates from that faculty who are to receive their awards at this ceremony.
Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Informatics. Rob Cameron. Donna Marie Casalato. Dominique Collette. Hong Fi Kotan. Stephen Cronin. Michael Dove. Jacob Foreman. Andrew Gaydon. Jason King. John Logan. Tim McElwain. Janice McEwen. Jane Porter. Jin Hong Ki. Shane Russell. Jamie Swan. Sven Venema. Brad Whitecross. Chancellor, I present to you graduates who have been granted the Bachelor of Science. John Adjic. Melissa Bade. Peter Barnier. Morris Benkovich. Stephen Callaghan. Paul Costa. Amber Crimmins. Jason Cripps. Catherine Davis. Andrew Ellis. Daryl Farmer. Christopher Gibson. Katrina Hegarty. Fleur Joseph. Nicole Catcher. Neil McFadgen. Michelle Mendel. Peter Mayer. Jerry Muriel. Patrick Nurmi. Stephen Nolan. Joseph Panayokitis. Karen Patterson. Darren Taylor. Louise Chan. Peter Truebody. Ailet Tweener. George Vasilakis. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted the Bachelor of Science with Aviation, Troy Fitzgerald. Chancellor, I present to you a graduate who has been granted the Graduate Diploma of Clinical Biochemistry, Kathy Adams. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of graduates of coursework programs of the Faculty of Science and Technology.
I will now receive graduates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I call upon the Chairperson, Academic Committee, to present the graduates.
Chancellor, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to a candidate who has successfully completed a prescribed program of study, principally of research. A thesis embodying the outcomes of the research is the principal basis of examination. The degree is only awarded if the examiners are satisfied that the thesis makes a significant and original contribution to knowledge and understanding of the field of knowledge with which it is concerned. Tonight, the University is proud to honour its Doctor of Philosophy graduates who have satisfied these rigorous criteria for the award of the degree. Chancellor, Selvakumar Ramachandran has been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Asian and International Studies. Despite rapid economic growth and the social progress enjoyed by the majority of the Malaysian population, Indian rubber plantation workers have been relegated to marginal existence in a state of persistent poverty and social deprivation, according to Dr. Ramachandran's research findings. In this comprehensive survey of the plight of Indian plantation workers in Malaysia, he has been able to identify the causes that have impacted on the community from a wide spectrum of historical, geographical, socio-cultural and economic factors. It is a major contribution to the history of labour and ethnic relations in Malaysia. Chancellor, I ask that Dr. Ramachandran be presented with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Chancellor, Mark William Pillsworth has been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Environmental Science. Antlions construct pits in sandy soils and use these pits to trap prey, such as ants. Dr. Pillsworth has quantified the links between pit size and distribution, the encounter rate of ants with the pits, and the subsequent capture rate. The older and larger instars occupy space nearer to food sources and enjoy better feeding regimes. In the laboratory, Dr. Pillsworth has quantified the amounts of food and the feeding rates of the instars to survive and move to the next stage of development. The investigations by Dr. Pillsworth have significantly extended knowledge of antlions feeding behaviour and pit construction. Chancellor, I ask that Dr. Pillsworth be presented with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Chancellor, Paul Anthony Grieve has been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Science and Technology. Mastitis is an inflammatory disease of the mammary glands caused by bacterial infection. Dr. Grieve's research concerned the effect of mastitis on dairy cattle. One of the principal biological responses of cattle to mastitis is an antibacterial action by a class of white cells called neutrophils, which are found in both the blood and the infected mammary glands. Dr. Grieve has employed sophisticated biochemical approaches to dissect neutrophils and to identify novel molecules involved in this antibacterial activity. In so doing, he has clarified the nature of this important biological defence mechanism. Mr. Chancellor, I ask that Dr. Grieve be presented with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Mr. Chancellor, Gabriel Francis O'Reilly has been granted the degree of Doctor of Philosophy taken in the Faculty of Science and Technology. Glucose is a major food and energy source for all cells and tissue of the body. Dr. O'Reilly's work has shown that enzymes which are responsible for the conversion of glucose to energy are, contrary to past assumptions, highly organised within the cytoplasm of the cell. Moreover, Dr. O'Reilly has provided some of the first molecular definitions of this organisation, and her work is a significant contribution to understanding how cells and tissues regulate the use of this essential energy source. Mr. Chancellor, I ask that Dr. O'Reilly be presented with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of the Doctor of Philosophy graduates. Mr. Chancellor, the degree of Doctor of Science and Doctor of Letters are the university's highest academic awards. They are made in recognition of original and substantial contribution of distinguished merit in an academic field. Mr. Chancellor, tonight I have pleasure in presenting to you Colin Llewellyn Raston for the degree of Doctor of Science. The work presented by Professor Raston for the degree on aspects of main group and transition metals chemistry represents about 20 years of intensive research into several areas of structural and synthetic chemistry. Professor Raston's particular contribution have been sympathetic organometallic and inorganic chemistry of the main groups and in transition metal chemistry. Amongst other things, his painstaking structural studies have resulted in an extensive series of organolithium reagents being made available to the organic chemist. The examiners of his thesis were unanimous in recommending the award of the degree and have commended his work as being of distinguished merit, adding significantly to the knowledge and understanding of inorganic, organometallic and coordination chemistry. On account of the quality of his work, its novelty and timeliness, Professor Raston is ranked amongst the best inorganic chemists in Australia and the world. Mr. Chancellor, I ask that Professor Raston be presented with the degree of Doctor of Science.
With the authority of the Council, I shall now confer medals for outstanding service. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor to make this presentation.
Chancellor, the Medal for Outstanding Service may be awarded to honour any member of the staff of the University or any other person who has provided exceptional service to the University in the course of the person's association with the University. The award is a rare honour and is not given as a matter of course. Chancellor, the University is particularly honoured tonight to recognise the invaluable contributions of a group of volunteer workers. These volunteers have provided the University with regular assistance over several years in a number of tasks such as the mailing of university publications, preparation of materials for university elections, and major rounds of correspondence with students at enrolment and other critical times of the year. In an age usually described as materialistic, the cheerful enthusiasm and selfless dedication of these volunteer workers is especially noteworthy. The Council resolved to award the University Medal for Outstanding Service to the volunteers in recognition of their generous services to the University over an extended period of time. Chancellor, I'm pleased to present to you two volunteer workers for the award of the Medal for Outstanding Service. Gloria Marie Gale. Mavis McGaw. Chancellor, the University was saddened to learn of the death of one of its volunteer workers earlier this year, Norma Ethel Richardson. Mrs. Richardson will be remembered with appreciation and affection for her cheerful and willing contributions to the work of the University over a number of years. Chancellor, I ask that Mrs. Richardson's daughter, Mrs. Rosalind Dewhurst, be presented with the Medal for Outstanding Service on her mother's behalf. Chancellor, all the recipients of the Medal for Outstanding Service who are present tonight have received their medals.
Yun dungay. Yun ba dungay. Ngalingan dungay na. Dungay. Karo ko wala ma.
With the authority of the Council, I shall now confer the degree of Doctor of the University. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor to make this presentation.
Chancellor, the Council of the University has resolved to award the degree of Doctor of the University to Neville Thomas Bonner, AO. Neville Thomas Bonner was born on Euchroba Island in the Tweed Heads district in 1922. He spent his early years in difficult circumstances, living in a number of camps where hunger, discrimination and lack of schooling were commonplace. Having received only 1 year of formal schooling at the age of 13, Neville Bonner is, of necessity, self-taught. He speaks regularly and persuasively of the school of life and the education which humans receive simply by living. Nonetheless, Neville Bonner recognises the importance of formal education as a major instrument in improving the lot of his community and is a strong advocate for education of all young Aborigines. From his mid-teens, Neville Bonner worked on banana plantations, at ring barking and scrub felling, as a dairy hand, and later as a stockman. In 1945, Neville Bonner and his family moved to the Palm Island Aboriginal community in Queensland, where he became actively involved in community affairs, rising to the position of Assistant Settlement Overseer, responsible for the administration of works. It was during these years that he learned the powerful principle of racial togetherness, a principle he has advocated since. During the 1960s, he became involved with the Coloured Welfare Council, which later became the One People of Australia League, OPAL. He was elected to the Board of Directors of OPAL in 1965. During his years as Senator, Neville Bonner continued his involvement with OPAL, serving as State President from 1970 to 1976. In 1979, he was honoured with life membership of OPAL, and he is now President of the League. With the encouragement of his family, Neville Bonner became seriously interested in politics. He joined the Liberal Party in 1967 and became the first Australian Aborigine in federal parliament when he was elected to the Senate in 1971. There he was able to give effect to his strong commitment to helping the underprivileged, particularly in the areas of education and local government. He was elected Senate Deputy Chairman of Committees in July 1974 and served on the Joint Parliamentary Publications Committee, Senate Standing Committee on Social Welfare, Regulations and Ordinances Committee, and the Joint House Committee. He was also a member of the Senate's Aboriginal Affairs, Federal Affairs and Health and Welfare Committees. In August 1976, Neville Bonner, as chairman of the Senate Select Committee on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, presented to Parliament the committee's final report on the environmental conditions of Aborigines and Torres Strait Islanders, the culmination of 5 years' work by the Senate Committee. 82 of the 86 recommendations to the government were accepted. One of the most momentous occasions of his career was on 15 September 1976, when he introduced his own private member's bill entitled Aborigines and Islanders Admissibility of Confessions Bill. In doing so, Neville Bonner became the first Aborigine to introduce legislation into the Australian Parliament. He was also the first backbencher to introduce a government bill, the Aboriginal Development Commission Bill, and carry it through all stages. A year later, as chairman of the Joint Committee on Aboriginal Land Rights in the Northern Territory, he tabled that committee's final report in Parliament. During his long and fruitful years as senator, Neville Bonner's greatest joy was being out amongst the real people. He visited many parts of the state and always found talking to the people he represented a revitalising experience. His personal aim in life, to serve all people irrespective of colour and class, continues to be manifest in his involvement as patron or member of numerous organisations, including World Vision Australia, Ipswich Women's Shelter, the Coloured Youth Soul Centre, and Amnesty International. After the conclusion of his term as Senator in 1983, he became a Director of the Board of the Australian Broadcasting Corporation and remained in that role until 1992. He has also been the senior official visitor at all state prisons in Queensland since 1990 and is a member of the Queensland Aboriginal Lands Tribunal. He's been involved in a number of educational institutions nationwide, lecturing in an honorary capacity. In 1992, the Griffith University Council decided that a person of Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander descent should occupy one of the two positions on the council for co-opted members. Neville Bonner was approached and the university was honoured by his acceptance of the position. Subsequently, and in the same year, the council appointed him as chairperson of its Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Advisory Committee. Under his guidance, the committee has raised the profile of university-wide activities designed to represent the interests of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander staff and students, and to raise general university and community awareness of the needs of this group. Among Neville Bonner's many enduring contributions are his publications, such as Black Power in Australia, as well as Equal World, Equal Share, and For the Love of Children, the last two written for World Vision. Neville Bonner's outstanding achievements have been acknowledged by being chosen as Australian of the Year in 1979 and the award of Officer of the Order of Australia in 1984. The Aboriginal community paid him a particular tribute by naming a $4 million building in Canberra Neville Bonner House. This is currently used by the Aboriginal Development Commission, the Department of Aboriginal Affairs and Aboriginal Hostels. It is especially fitting that the Council of Griffith University should honour Neville Bonner in recognition of his distinguished contributions to the community over a very long period of time. Mr Chancellor, it is with great pleasure that I present to you Neville Thomas Bonner, Officer of the Order of Australia, for admission to the degree of Doctor of the University. Chancellor, I now call upon Mr Neville Thomas Bonner, AO, Doctor of the University, to deliver the occasional address.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, academic staff, members of council, all you wonderful, lovely students down in front of me, ladies and gentlemen, first let me say, from a very humble heart, thank you, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, and the Council for the honour that you have bestowed on me this evening. I pray God will give me the courage and the strength to live up to the honour that you have paid me. This evening, I will be speaking from a paper that I've called My Advice. At the outset, I shall address myself to Aboriginal youth, but being a firm believer in the togetherness of all Australians, my attention will turn and be directed to non-Aboriginal youth. My maternal Aboriginal grandfather was Junjun, anglicised name Roger Bell, the last initiated member of the Jagera tribe in whose country I now reside. He, my Aboriginal grandmother, my mother, and my Aboriginal father became fringe dwellers. They were dispossessed of their heritage, land, and consequently became members of what I term the Legion of the Lost. I was born in a blacks camp in New South Wales that I survived as a minor miracle, for hunger, cold, deprivation, ill health, drunkenness was the norm in those surroundings. My mother duly decided my brother and sister and I needed schooling, so off we went, ever so proudly, dressed in hand-me-downs, cut-down trousers, shirts skillfully made from flour bags turned inside out. The event was calamitous. Since the parents of the white kids were warned of our presence, and hey presto, after much surreptitious scurrying, the school was left with only little black bonners in attendance. I tried again years later at Beaudesert State School, and I successfully completed 1 year of formal education, rising to grade 4. The years before and after my formal education attempt were filled with income-earning activities. They included gathering grass seed for sale, working as a banana plantation labourer, dairy hand, scrub feller, stick picker, ring barker, fence builder, stockman, rodeo rider, head stockman, drover, cane cutter. These work experiences were punctuated by times of jumping the rattler, illegally jumping on and travelling on the rail trains. Dossing down for the night in all types of comfortable and not so comfortable places, intermittent sojourns into Aboriginal communities for a big feed and loving care from relations to you. At last I married and moved with my family, my Aboriginal wife, to her birthplace, Palm Island, 75 kilometres off the coast of Townsville, Queensland. I became works overseer of 250 men, remaining there for 15 years. I subsequently took my wife, 5 sons and 2 foster daughters to live in Jagera country, Ipswich, Queensland, where I managed a dairy farm and tried my hand at boomerang manufacturing, followed by bridge carpentering and on into the Senate of our Commonwealth Parliament in 1971. I was then aged 49. I possessed no birth certificate. In fact, I didn't even know if my birth had been registered. And in my wallet, I had only $5. Most humbly, I say, the rest of my life is Australian history. So, what has all this got to do with you, my Aborigine sons and daughters? It has all got to do with you. Otherwise, the struggle of my life, the struggle of my contemporary Aboriginal fellows, whose numbers are legion, would have been in vain. I charge you to be forever aware and proud of your Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander culture, whatever your chosen skill may be it ringer, fitter, boilermaker, typist, chemist, mother, father, lawyer, driller, dressmaker, teacher, nurse, nursing aide, politician, sportsman or woman, cane cutter, engine driver, and so on. Into all facets of Australian community living, I expect you to direct yourselves, and at the same time, I expect you to become part of any decision-making instrumentalities. For far too long indeed, have we been decided for. Step into your chosen role with dignity and determination, for you represent the most unique culture on earth. Get off your bunties, backside, and get moving now. Of course, my sons and daughters, no one knows more than I that it takes courage, coming as we do from a background of communal living, communal tribal living, that is, and more recently, a community of extended family living. It is apt to be lonely in certain roles, particularly for those up front. There will be no acclaim, yet I promise that each brave step forward you take makes it much easier for the next Aborigine who comes along. And I pray you will hold on to that in your moments of despair. What do I impart on you, precious youth of our race, our golden future, concerning the psychological scars we all bear? We all bear these as a result of our almost total dispossession of our home countries and the accompanying disruption of our 50,000 years of ordered living. Oh yes, we are all scarred. I acknowledge my scarring and came to terms with it as much as possible. It was not easy, but the alternative is bitterness. Bitterness which ultimately destroys both body and soul. Secondly, I took a long look during my youth at the non-Aboriginal Australians and decided to accept many of their virtues and disclaim their vices, while at the same time claiming our Aboriginal virtues and disregarding our few vices. You note, I say our culture has only a few vices. True, however, no matter how you play it, I must warn against carrying a chip or block on the shoulder. I will never excuse a chip on the shoulder attitude in the young of my race. For in contrast to the inflicted misery and hardship on the Aboriginal generations since the advent of European settlement in this country, you cannot begin to know what hardship was. Let me turn to our sensitivity. Be proud of this emotion, for I find sensitivity to lead to one of the most noble attributes of mankind, compassion. My advice to you, the young of my race, is to forever display compassion towards all fellow Australians, regardless of their ethnic background, age, and skills. Surely we who have been conquered are able to emerge from our dark, dismal depths with loving, caring, and compassionate hearts, giving to others the very qualities we expected from our conquerors. This is truly, I believe, the way we are, for we are descendant from a loving, sharing, caring, compassionate culture. I charge you here now to show compassion at all times, Aborigine to Aborigine, for if there is one paramount obstacle to the onward march of today's Aborigines, it is the public or private knocking of one Aborigine by other Aborigines. Earlier I spoke of the courage it takes for the lone Aborigine to step out from the Murray mob, the Murray Road. I feel so strongly about compassion, my young hopes for the future, that if any one of you lacks compassion, then I don't want to know you. The natural progression from sensitivity to compassion leads to loyalty, and I am forced to ask myself, what has happened to loyalty in this Australia of ours? Answer me if you are able. Here, where is the loyalty and mateship I knew in ring-barking camps, cattle stations, and wild roving? Why the demise of loyalty in partnership, woman or man, loyalty in family or kinship groups? I challenge you to go find it, this lost ingredient, so vital for the cementing together of human beings into an indestructible unit. You may weave through your tapestry, the tapestry of your life, strong cords of sincerity. I suppose what I'm saying is fair dinkum Aussie to fair dinkum Aussie. And believe me, there are no more fair dinkum Aussies than Aborigines and Torres Strait Islanders. I would have to advise at all times be genuine. From the story of my life, you would observe that I have been around. I've been almost drowned in insincerity, compelling me to rank good old time-tested sincerity very, very high on my advice. May, I say may, it rank high also on your list. Now you have heard other old Aborigines begin a tale, when I was a lad. Well, mine goes like this. Once when I was a youngster, a skinny, cold, black youngster, living in a humpy on the outskirts of Lismore, New South Wales, a shopkeeper gave my grandmother a packet of porridge, peppered with weevils. Wow, we thought, we are going to eat breakfast like the white fellas. As the adults set about soaking the porridge to enable the weevils to float and to be tipped away, I remembered white people had milk and sugar on their porridge every morning. Gee, every morning. Now, we'd got syrup or treacle. That did in place of sugar. And I thought I'd just nip up the road and ask the farmer living reasonably near for some milk. I greeted the stern-faced farmer with the astonishing announcement, "We're having porridge. Could I have some separated milk?" Oops! I literally hit the ground. As he screamed, he'd need his milk for his pigs and not for some little black bee. I tell you this story, my sons and daughters, to illustrate not discrimination or cruelty, but how I came to my goals. For right there and then I determined someday I would have all the porridge, sugar and milk I could eat, and for as long as I wanted to eat it. Oh yes, I achieved this special goal and more. I firmly believe that Northern Rivers farmer planted my little black feet steadfastly on the rocky road leading to Australia's Senate. I travelled on, ready to accept each and every discomfort, savagery, and racial hatred felt by refugee Aborigines in that era, and turn it into yet another determined goal. If I achieved goal after goal, so perhaps can you in this easier and more enlightened era for Aborigines and Torres Strait Islanders. My ambition for my people and myself was planted by that farmer watered by the 1 year of formal education, but nurtured by the skills I acquired along the hard road. You, my young Murrays, I recommend that you take advantage of the various types of education being offered to Aborigines today. There is an old bush saying, it is an old dog for the hard road, leave the pups down on the flats. I have walked the flat where you are now, my black puppies, and I do not want it for you. You will gain your goals of the high road through education, because the number of Aboriginal students undertaking secondary education has increased from 19,000 in 1981 throughout Australia to 35,000 in 1993. My advice is that you swell those numbers. The Aboriginal Study Grant Scheme, AbStudy, which began in 1968 as a scheme to assist those of us who wish to undertake courses of further education after secondary schooling, and ABSEX, Aboriginal Secondary Education Grant, are designed for those Aborigines who are eligible for admission to colleges, universities, and other appropriate institutions. In the first year of operation, 115 AbStudy grants were made, but over 25 years later, the number of Aborigines receiving these grants for tertiary and adult education has jumped dramatically to some 22,500. Of course, this has required a high level of government assistance, but the rewards of such efforts can be measured by the greater participation of Aborigines in the workforce. This leads me to the broader aspect of education and how it affects us as Aborigines today. Education is of prime importance in making one's way as an Aborigine in Australia today. Young Aborigines are now moving into a broader spectrum of careers and professions. Educators should then no longer be constrained by narrow notions of fixed Aboriginal careers. There have been assumptions that areas suitable for Aboriginal careers include only teaching, nursing, social work, public Aboriginal administration, typist, and so on. Worthy as these occupations continue to be, educators must now think in terms of Aboriginal doctors, lawyers, psychologists, professors and scientists, engineers and broadcasters. For increasing numbers of us are entering into these areas of professional training. So grab hold and like an eagle, soar up and up, taking our Aboriginal race with you. I recommend that in whatever walk of life you select, act with great responsibility. Do not, I beg you, give credence to the monstrous belief of many non-Aboriginal Australians that we are an irresponsible people. We are the descendants of our once proud owners of this vast continent, who for over 50,000 years lived a regimented lifestyle and who were masters of their own destinies. Immorality in the area of our tribal ancestors was punishable by death, spearing, or lonely banishment. So what has happened? No, I don't mean to the punishment. I mean to the morality of Aboriginal youth. I cannot believe that after the cruelties and disadvantages endured by temporary fellow Aborigines, endured in the main, to enable our Aboriginal race to survive, that you would be stupid enough to fall prey to modern-day immorality with its risks of AIDS and lesser scourges. I firmly believe we are members of the most adaptable race on earth. We comprise today almost 2% of Australia's population, having survived all the weaponry and that so-called European civilization could aim at us. 45% of the Aboriginal race is integrated into the broader space-age Australian community and retains its ethnic identity. That is adaptability. But do not dare take adaptation to the extreme. Remember what I said earlier. Accept many of their virtues and disclaim their vices. My final bit of exclusive advice to you, my Aboriginal sons and daughters, is extremely difficult to follow. When situations of relationships go awfully awry, do not cast around for someone to blame until you have taken a deep, honest look into yourself and your own actions. It is astounding how 96% of the time our biggest enemy is ourselves. And when you fully recognize this revelation, you are well on the road to maturity and off the flat and onto the higher ground. To non-Aboriginal young, I say, most of what I have said applies to you also. For pride, dignity, courage, sensitivity, compassion, loyalty, mateship, partnership, sincerity, goals, education, responsibility, morality, and self-evaluation are the ingredients for total maturity, no matter what race, color, or creed. To me, of course, the major component is love of God, and unapologetically, I confirm I'm an old-time religion fellow myself. I would convey to white youth my deep appreciation for at no time since my birth in 1922, in that miserable blacks camp, have I found white Australia so ready and eager to attempt to understand the Indigenous as your race, as your age group now. The young of my race must, I stressed must, be allowed to step forward, and they must be allowed a greater degree of self-determination. Many times that intangible dream, that utopia, has been talked about. The very edge of young black and young white contact in this country is the area in which this ideal state will eventually develop. Unfortunately, learning and teaching alone will not get you across cultural barriers. These barriers can only be crossed one side to the other, black to white, white to black, by communicating while experiencing each other. My treasured sons and daughters of Australia, this beloved country of ours will flourish in harmony only when you view it through the knowledge that for an enthralling rhapsody to be played successfully on a piano, one has to play the white and black keys together. Finally, may I say, may God grant you the talents of communication and harmony for the benefit of this great nation of ours. Thank you.
Mr. Chancellor, it's a humbling task for me tonight to rise to thank Neville Bonner for his address to us, because of course his address represents one of the important documents of our time, as he stands before us as a person who embodies so much of the pain, so much of the joy, so much of the aspiration and so much of the achievement of his people. Since we at Griffith were truly fortunate enough to attract him to our council and to the chair position of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Advisory Committee. He has brought to us much that we did not have before or were not aware of before. You've heard Neville Bonner tonight use many times the phrase sons and daughters, brothers and sisters. On other occasions I've heard him refer to uncles and aunts. He and his community use these phrases freely in the way they refer to each other. And tonight we've heard him not only use these phrases about his community, in challenging his community, but he's used these phrases to embrace us all. And I hope tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be able to take away something of the breadth and depth of Neville Bonner's speech to us. He's charged the graduates, wherever they come from and wherever they're going, in a direct way in terms of qualities of compassion and loyalty. A couple of times I've heard Neville Bonner use this phrase, and I'm afraid it's come to chill me rather. If we don't represent certain values in our lives, we don't embrace certain values, he doesn't want to know us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we all want to be included in the large number of people that Neville Bonner wants to know, and I'm sure we'll take away with us a real challenge from his message tonight. Would you join with me now in thanking Neville Bonner for his address? Remains for me to add my personal congratulations to all our graduates and my best wishes for their future careers. We hope we'll have your support in future, as we hope you think you've had our support in the past. Keep in touch with us, and a particular way of doing that, of course, is by joining and remaining active in our Alumni Association. I'm sure the Alumni Association would like to hear from you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, the Brisbane Collegiate Singers will sing the traditional student song, Gadiama Sigatur. Please rise as the singers enter and remain standing during the song. Members of the audience who wish to do so are invited to join in the singing of the song, whose words appear on page 23 of your program. Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremony is now concluded. When the fanfares begin, please rise and remain standing as the Deus Party and the staff procession and the graduates retire. Thank you.